Stay there. Don't move. Don't move. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, brother.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Don't move. Don't move. Just stay there and talk right there. Go on. Yeah. What did you say?
Yeah, because what we're saying is, just for the listeners to understand, the man who read the King's Peace Treaty was written by the man who's just called in. So we just played the King's Peace Treaty, and this is Brother Israel on the phone now. Now, what's relevant is that we've got the people who've organised the Million People March, which is scheduled for the 30th of August. And like I said before, when people go to the Million People March, because it's got a positive vibe to it, there is the market to go to straight away afterwards. So after the march, people are going to go and buy lots of things from black people buy from each other, not because of us having anything against any other races. It's just that we continue to spend money with other races, and now we're going to spend a bit of money with ourselves as well, and we will continue to spend with other races as well. So Brother Israel, what I was going to ask you just now is relevant to something that Brother Man and I say every week after the show, Million People March, regarding the fact that there are people, including the one that you said, was the weak link, who said that, there was an issue with, having people in unity and living peacefully and trading with each other. What would you say to these people? Because I generally say 30 seconds of madness could lead to 30 years in prison. What kind of short message would you have for those people?
You know what it is? Today I was speaking to a young lady, and she was telling me about a situation that was happening in Crouch End. Like, they got some gangs and the youth got stabbed and all this kind of stuff. And what I've really realised is that as a community, all we need to do really, is really kind of care.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we're all wrapped up in our day-to-day life, and maybe things might not happen to you personally, and all these kind of things, we can be very careless and very neglectful of our communities, in so to speak. And like with the guys that are doing the million people march, I just have to give them much love and respect, because they're trying, and when you see people trying, this is where we should, anytime that you see people doing something, we should all get on board and
exactly.
Well
said, blessed. Enough respect and honour every time. Israel, you're our leader, brother man. Yeah, and you've got another leader right here in the studio. You're going to hear from her in a minute. You're leading us, because remember, the young people have to lead us. We like I said before, man. We yes, all right, fair enough. We're good leaders, and we've got people who told us that we've got good leadership skills. But there's a difference between good managers and good leaders. Good managers will sack you. Good leaders will show you how to improve on what you've done. Yeah,
True.
And this is what it's all about. Enough respect, brother Israel. Got your back, brother.
Bless.
Bless.
And everybody, the million people organisation. Big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Israel. You know he's Spencer, right?
Spencer, what about my family tree?
We say family tree from morning. Listen,
Right.
it's the first time I call you Israel in my life, right?
Well, don't use the government name from here, We don't want no government.
So I'm gonna start calling you Israel from now. But
right.
listen,
Israel,
you're doing your thing same way. We ran into each other at Brixton. First time in what? About 25 years? 20? Wow. No, a little less. I'd say about 15, 20 years, 18 years maybe, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
And we took off from morning. Come on. All Chris hit me up today. Yeah. As you know, Bully's passed away, so it was all on the page, showing our love to Bully and that. And your brother did hit me up. So when I get home today, I'm gonna add him as well. So we go way back. Israel, just so everybody knows.
All right, respect. Thank you, blessed. Israel, keep in contact, blessed King. Enough respect. Keep doing what you do, man. You're awesome. Yes, I am. You're our leader, brother. Enough respect. Positive vibration.
Foundation every time.
Enough respect and honor. Bless up, family.
And brother Israel, this is brother man here, yeah. We tried, but you got to definitely come and give us a slot. You got to come and fill in one of these slots. And maybe after the.
My time is a bit more free now, so that can work.
Yes,
You're on what? What did he say?
It can work.
I want you in the studio, my brother, man. Yeah. You gave Uncle an interview years ago, which I've got the copy of the brother the peace treaty that you kind of you spoke it in the studio. That's the one that I play all the time. You with me? But I want to speak to you. You understand? In the studio and kind of like interview you, my brother, man. You understand?
the nuts and bolts that make you up. Come on, my brother,
Bless
man.
up, respect
Yeah,
him.
give thanks, yeah. Give thanks.
Yes, Nige. Love, right?
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Bless up. All right, and also big respect to the organisers of the Brixton lockdown, Leah Mohammed and all those people.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And you know, the Forever family done an awesome job. They're much better than the police. I feel safe if the Forever family are doing any kind of security anywhere. They're awesome. They're the best in the world. I don't care what anyone's got to say. Yeah?
Yes.
You know,
We agree.
The brothers and sisters that was at the
Yeah,
Forever family
yeah.
are
I know they got
awesome,
was
awesome.
bad press for that.
I know.
I'm sure you guys saw it. But
Really?
exactly,
Well, put it this
exactly.
way, we
The
have
right,
to
the
control
right
the-
wing.
The right
Well,
right
forget
wing,
about
we
them,
have to
because
say.
what you have to remember is
Let's
that
not give them a
yeah,
platform.
exactly.
Let's not re-give them a platform.
Exactly, and
Let's
also
congratulate
what we
the
also
family.
say as well is that when the story of the hunt is told by the hunter, it's not favourable to the hunted.
Thank
So
you.
Never
we have to
is.
tell the
Thank
story
Never
for the truth
is.
to be heard.
Never
That's right.
is.
So that's why we
That's
have our
very
media.
true.
You understand me? Now I'll take it away, people. You're the you're the organisers. Can you please introduce yourselves to the world?
Do you want to go first? Let the baby of the bunch go first.
Yeah.
We love her.
Oh, that's me.
I hear this guy.
I'm Sasha Johnson. I refer to myself as a freedom fighter and activist and Oxford Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm Ken Hines. I'm the chair of the Haringey Independent Stop and Search Monitoring Group. I also run another organisation called Haringey Communities Against Violence.
And I'm Anthony Spencer, founder of the Race Offenders Register Association, also co-organizer of the Million People March. I'm normally not in this space. I woke the hell up after George Floyd.
Okay.
So I'm in this space now for good.
Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of people grew up thinking that they had a chip on their shoulder, but really it was a knee on our necks. And I fully
That's right,
appreciate
yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, for real, definitely so. So, what time would the Million People March start? What time would it end?
It starts at 1, so we're meeting at Westbourne Grove.
Okay.
So everybody make your way to Westbourne Grove,
Mhm.
and then we march on to Queensway,
Mhm.
and then from Queensway to Bayswater Road,
Mhm.
and then from Bayswater Road all the way to Hyde Park. And that from the meeting point, the meeting times that's at 1, the end time is 6. We hope to have a minimum of about 4 hours, 4.5 hours in Hyde Park for speeches and everything else,
Okay,
entertainment
right.
and stuff.
Fine. Right. So, what have you got on in place for the people? Because, like we said, we have the event on the same day. Which, if after the march, it makes a lot of sense for people to go straight to the event where black people are buying from each other, selling to each other. Was that the idea? Did you actually? I know it's a spiritual thing. What we didn't know it was going to connect like that. But I'm just saying, is that what you were saying to the people, that black people? It's time for us to wake up and realise that we
Rise
do own
up.
stuff. Yeah, rise up. Because okay, so with the security issue, a lot of people were concerned, and as you may know, and you had calls as well.
Yeah, we spoke today.
And like I said, I'm in the security industry. We do risk assessments. What's your take on the response you've had so far? What have the police said about it, and what have you done about what the police have said?
We are in a unique position
Yeah.
where I happen to sit on a number of institutions around the policing. So
Yeah.
the IOPC, the College of Policing, sat in the Home Office, and I also sit on the use of force, a strategic oversight group. And what the important things of this is that for a long time we've been saying, well,
There's two complaints that police officers have made publicly. Yeah, one of them is that their firearms officers have a 12-week training course. Yeah, they complain about that. Okay, what people don't understand about that is that when we do a thing called conflict management, the police have a qualification that they also take about 12 weeks to do. The conflict management course that we put people on takes about a year, because the book is about that thick, the main book. Do you understand? Yeah. The point being that when it comes to conflict management and risk assessment and reducing risk, sometimes, like I said, an officer can say something to a young person and get punched in the face or whatever. You might say the same thing to that young person and get a better response. You understand me? You know, I'm saying mainly that's because of the police officers breaking laws they're paid to enforce. What do you think is going to happen on the day? Do you think the police are going to support what you do? I don't think they'll support what we do, but do you think they would?
I'm very confident. I'm very confident that the police will facilitate what we want on the march, and that's around health and safety. and that's around the risk assessment that we have done to highlight any issues that we think may be there.
Okay.
And so, as I said, I'm confident that this will go up without a hitch. We're looking for 0 arrests, and so therefore we're looking to have that solid engagement
And to
as to what the police, what community policing look like. We're marshalling our people.
Yeah, just before Sasha comes in, when we just mentioned that police often break the laws they're paid to enforce, one of the things that happens at Carnival is that 1 million people come regularly for about 20 odd years, no violence, you understand me? Peaceful outcomes. Sometimes they talk about like X amount of drunk and disorderly, but they're generally Caucasian people with the drunk and disorderly thing. You understand, yeah? And that football matches, you have something like 20,000 people, about 200 arrests every week, week in, week out. You understand? There's loads of fights going on. And a point made by a police officer in the UK was when they had the football match where Jamaica played against the Loftus Road, what's it called again?
Queen's
Park Rangers.
Yeah.
The police officer said, when for the first time in his life, he saw pure ganja smoke coming from the stadium, from the stand, from the Jamaican fan stand. But he said it was the most peaceful match that had ever taken place. 0 arrests. That means that we impacted on the white people's behaviour as well. Because generally, you understand, Now, one of the things what I'm going to say before Sasha gets brought into this is that at football matches, what people don't know is that the police would ban, not just the police, everyone agrees with them, ban the football fans from drinking in front of the pitch. But rugby fans who go to, like the Bullingdon Club and all that, they can drink in front of the pitch. So that's the point I want to make there. Do you understand me? That mind control isn't just for black people. You understand me? When they throw it all out there for black people, a lot of white people get caught up in it as well. That's why a lot of them empathise with us. Do you understand? So they might be just attacked by, you know what I'm saying? So, Sasha.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
What I want to say, the police biggest issue is around the stop and search. It's around the interaction with the people, with the person who they suspect of something, and this is what they get very wrong because their suspect level is high. What we're trying to say is on the march, we want a different style of policing there. One where we see ourselves, and we hold family forever, the nation. We talk about everyone.
Forever family.
Forever family. Whoever got an interest in coming out and wanting to make sure that it's peaceful. We want to see you because yes, we've got over 200 stewards and security currently. We want to really boost that by another 400. So anything we can do to safeguard our people coming that space must be done.
Okay. Respect. So obviously, you've got a country where it's got the BNP, National Front, and all those people in it, and we know what they like. So what I was going to say is the Oxford Black Panthers. Tell us all about it.
So quite often, I believe first and foremost, as black people, I declare that we're in a state of emergency. If we didn't know, wake up call, yes we are. This has gone on far too long. I don't fear a policeman because I now know who I am and I know what it will take to hold a certain amount of resistance. A lot of people has been hearing me compare the police to the KKK, but it's not without an ideology behind it. My ideology behind it is recently in the Battle of Trafalgar, as Ras Pepper referred to it, there was a policeman that was rescued by a black man, and he was part of EDIA. How many black youths went through his hands before he decided to join the far right? Do you understand what I'm saying? We were ran over on the Westminster Bridge by FM Conway, lorry driver, and nothing happened. He was seen, it was classed as dangerous driving, but the last time someone ran someone over on that bridge, it was domestic terrorism. So we're seeing that they're choosing when and how to utilise the laws that they're told that they have to implement.
Yeah, it's the same like David Copeland, who grew up Brick Lane, Brixton and everywhere like that, and they didn't call him a terrorist. They said that he was just like a lone white guy. Remember, and just to make the point, why we're complaining, this is not a colour issue. We're saying that the people all of the people who shoot people in schools are all white people. That's not, you know what I mean? This is straightforward. So in Dunblane, in the UK, that was a white man. In Hungerford, a white man killed lots of people. In America, the school shooting.
Not to mention the American ones.
And the American school.
Never been a black person.
Now. And just to make the point even clearer, what you just said is what I was coming to. Here it got worse. After that, in America, where all of the white people, all of the school shootings are committed by white people, the reconstruction for the, you know, when they do a reconstruction for the TV, a black police officer played the role of the white shooter. Now, I say he should not do that.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but it's all about a global imaginary.
And what they do is they assassinate characters with the media so that people sort of get desensitized to what's getting killed.
So have you ever heard of a guy called Edward Bernays?
I possibly have heard
So
of him.
in the 50s, he was gifted a job to create a commercial for cigarette smoking.
Yeah.
So he made cigarette the shape of a phallus, which made women feel empowered by smoking a cigarette. So he showed that it all lies in the psychology and it all goes through imagery.
Yeah.
What is projected onto us, Bell Hooks talks about how the black narrative is shown in movies where either the big woman that cooks the food, the robber, the slave, or master's bootlicker.
That's why Dave Chappelle refused to wear a dress or a skirt in the movies, because the people thought he walked away from 50 million, but what he explained is that he just walked away from. Because remember, when people fagotize, I don't know what word to use. I don't know what word to use. When people try to stop, I apologise if I offended anyone. Yeah, I'm just saying. We are in a world where we're meant to reproduce. All right, and by nature, we help, man. So yeah.
So basically, let's rescue our brother here, because I'm not here to offend anyone, but basically,
No, we bleeped it out. We bleeped it out.
I think basically what we have to say to our black youths, and I'm especially speaking to our black youths, you are strong, you are leaders. We had the Moors. We've ruled dynasties.
Yes,
we are kings and queens, and we must not forget that. And in this journey, this is a spiritual warfare. When I talk about a revolution, people are thinking I'm talking about bloodshed. Malcolm X says, by any means necessary. I'm talking about a social revolution, one that deconstructs and stops the preservation of white supremacy, one that gives us a tangible stepping into our future. And it will take some sacrifice. So if you have to sacrifice coming out to this march, not drinking alcohol, not smoking drugs, being 10 toes down and asking for your rights, not only asking, demanding for those rights, because we are at that stage. We go into a cashless society. Who's it going to most affect? Us as black people. So it's standing now. This time has come. It's all around the world. And if you're young right now and you don't see it, there's something going on. This world is built on distraction. The TV is made to distraction. Capitalism was created to distract us.
And also, the devil is a distraction, which is something I say to people quite frequently. And with capitalism comes psychopathy. What happens with a lot of people is they don't understand that governments and big corporations display psychopathy. That means that they will do something and not care about the individual. Do you understand? Now, corporations were once slaves. What's your take on that?
I look around us. My surname is Johnson.
Yes.
When I look around us and I see Smith and Lowe, Johnson's Baby, I'm seeing slave masters still around us.
Yes.
None of us have our real name. We don't know who we are. That's slave masters around us. When we have a prison system that's privatized, that's slave masters around us. When we know that prison is filled with our black boys and our black girls, that is that's slavery.
But that's what prisons were built for.
And when we look at the structure of the system and the hierarchy in that system, and who has access to power and decision making, and who is there representing us in tokenistic ways, we have to really hold them to account. Like I said, we are intellectual enough to understand our oppression, and we're clearly intellectual enough to point out our oppressors. We need to not fight against each other, but fight against the system, because it's all in the root of the system. When they say that racism and capitalism doesn't go hand in hand, actually they didn't sell us for smiles, they sold us for money. So we need to stop kidding ourselves and wake up. It's black and white. They've never hid it completely. It's black and white.
And slave trading is the same as the debt slavery they put us in. They don't want people to own their own house or pay for it outright.
That's why there's a welfare system created. And I urge any black youth that's out there, come and approach us. If you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want experience, I know loads of black, talking about the music you played before you introduced us, Too Badder, that's an influential black king that is trying en route now to do things, to implement things in the black community.
And he's doing well.
Pan-African schools, community projects, putting it in the music. He's trying what the capitalist is trying. He's putting